I am the co-founder of the Convention of States Project. I'm an attorney, been in practice since 1976. I have represented state legislators in an Article 5 challenge back in the late 70s, early 80s, in a case that made it to the Supreme Court of the United States concerning the extension of time relative to the Equal Rights Amendment. I've also taught constitutional law at Patrick Henry College for 17 years. The resolution in front of you follows along the spirit of George Mason's comments at the end of the Constitutional Convention in 1787. Last week at the convention, the proposal on the table at the time was Congress would propose all amendments to the Constitution and the states would ratify all the amendments. Mason stood and said, there's going to be a day when the federal government abuses its power, and when that happens, we need to have an ability for the states to propose amendments because Congress will never voluntarily limit its own power. And the intervening 200 plus years have proven the truth of his statement. His approach was unanimously adopted without debate. And the states are given the moral authority and the legal authority to rein in abuse of power by the federal government. And I'll just focus on one thing. When we started this project 10 years ago, the national federal debt was about $16 trillion. And that number, in round numbers, has doubled in the intervening 10 years. And the Congress simply is not going to do anything to stop the runaway debt. And the states, state legislators in particular, have the authority to stop this, to stop the abuse of the spending power of the country. And there's other examples that we could give, but in the interest of time, I'll just stick to that example. So the process is this. 2/3 of the states, that's 34 states, must pass a resolution calling for a convention for a particular subject matter. There are hundreds of existing resolutions that have been passed, including resolutions by Maine that have been passed over the years, calling for conventions for various topics. But you have to have an absolute cohesion of the subject matter in order to call a convention. 19 states have certainly passed the resolution. I can give you those verbally if you want, or else we can submit it in writing. Of the 19 states that have done that. Kansas is in a somewhat unique situation. They have voted in a majority, but there is a legal issue about whether they needed a 2/3 majority, and that's being dealt with right now. And so it's 19 or 20 states have passed this resolution. It's passed the North Carolina House, and it's pending in the North Carolina Senate right now. That's the most active state at the moment. At stage 2 of the convention is the convention itself, and there it's one state, one vote, and you have to stick to the subject matters that are listed here in this resolution. All 19, by the way, that have passed this have identically used the operative language that's in the measure in front of you. Then the final stage is the real checks and balances of anything going awry, and that is 38 states have to ratify, which means if 13 states vote no, it's no. You don't. Anything is rejected. It also means if one house in 13 states votes no, it's no. Or if 13 states just don't take it up, it's no. It actually affirmatively has to pass in 38 states, which means that nothing crazy can come through. It's going to be hard to get good things through, but anything crazy is impossible. I don't care if it's right-wing crazy or left-wing crazy. Crazy is impossible. And so we'll be seeing, I believe, responsible issues and responsible measures that will have any realistic chance of making it all the way through. The most common question that I've answered for state legislators all over the country is, can this run away? Can you take up subjects that are not a part of the call in the convention? And the answer is no, you can't. There's a lot of reasons.
Mr. Farris?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your time is up. Can you just give us like one sentence and wrap?
Sure. In states, you must stick to the subject matter, and there are many reasons that that's true. Thank you for your time, Senator, and I appreciate the opportunity to testify.